station. Just a few simple safety reminders before we do take our leave near the station. While aboard the train, there is to be no eating, drinking, or smoking of any type. This is not only for the comfort of the guests around you, but also for the safety of all of our animals here in the park. If you do have any small children with you here, please make sure you have them seated to the middle of the row with the adults on the outside edges. And if you look over to the right-hand side of the train, you can see we do get very close to some of the trees and bushes around here. So please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train at all times, as some of these trees and bushes do have thorns on them. Now the engineers have put on the bell, which signals that we are getting clear to depart here. So the most important rule of them all, please remain seated throughout the entire duration of our trip. And that's the final okay from our station master. We are now departing from Stanleyville Station. From this point forward, no more standing, no more changing of seats. This train is en route. Station like a lightning bolt straight out of the clouds. We'll look over to your left-hand side and wave goodbye to our hard-working station master, Jason. Come on, everybody, say goodbye, Jason. It's the hardest work he's done in 3 months. Come on, just say goodbye. Coaster that we're passing underneath is called Shikra. Shikra gets its name from an African hawk that dives straight out of the sky after its prey. And trust me, that's exactly what you'll do on this coaster. It takes you up around 200 feet, gives you a nice view of the surrounding area before pivoting you 90 degrees and then dropping you all the way back down. The Shikra will just drop you once. It'll take you through 2 different 90-degree drops throughout the course of its ride. And it takes you up to speeds of around 80 miles an hour. Now over on the left-hand side, you might catch a glimpse of it. It is our Stanleyville log flume ride. Now, Stanleyville Falls happens to be one of the longest log flumes here in North America. It takes almost 4 minutes to go around the entire thing. And it features 40-foot drops. And it splashes you down into cool, refreshing water. Now to the right-hand side of the train is the Pantopia area of the park. Pantopia is home to the Scorpion roller coaster, our oldest roller coaster here at the park. Sand Serpent roller coaster, and Falcon's Fury. Falcon's Fury is a 335-foot freestanding drop tower. But once you get up to the top of Falcon's Fury, it doesn't just drop you straight down, no. It pivots you 90 degrees so you look straight down at the ground, and then drops you for the 6-second free fall ride all the way back down. Now some of you might be able to hear a loud rolling sound off in the distance. That's not our type of ship or our lions. That is Kumba. Kumba is the Swahili word for roar. And if you'd like to know where Kumba is, as soon as you pass out of this little embankment, you'll see it on your left-hand side. It's that big green coaster. Kumba is nothing more than a classic steel roller coaster. It'll take you upside down 7 different times through its trip, sending you at speeds over 60 miles an hour. we go across this main crossing here, we're heading out towards the Serengeti belt. Now out here on the Serengeti belt, the animals are free roaming with no fences between them and the train. Sometimes the animals do tend to wander across the track and in front of the train. So we may end up coming to a complete and very fast stop. So we ask that everybody continue remaining seated, especially through this part of the journey, as we do not wish to see anybody fall on somebody next to them, fall on the seat in front of them, or worse, fall on the train. Now also, since it is a free roaming area, we sometimes do not see any of the animals, we sometimes see them all. As I can guarantee you, there are some white rhinos out there. They are to the left-hand side of the train and also towards the front of the train. Don't worry, folks, they're very close to the train. You will get a very good picture, even from a seated position. Now, the white rhinos happen to be the second largest land animals in the world, only second to elephants. They grow up to be around 2,000 to 6,000 pounds. And even for that enormous size, those rhinos can still run at 35 miles an hour. Now, if you're also looking over there to the left-hand side, you can see them up there on the hill. Those are all of our wildebeest, also known as the white-bearded gnu. If you can spot a small little brown one sitting down. That is our baby wildebeest. He was born about 4 weeks ago. And if you're looking out there on that little island across the lake, you might catch a glimpse of Spike. Spike is our black rhino. He's out there all by himself. Hey, you're probably wondering why he's out on that island all by himself. Well, that's because he's a very territorial animal. But he does well just being out there all in his lonesome. As we're passing by that other Serengeti plains, those white animals you can see are the apex antelope, the small little brown animals that you can see up there on the hill. Those are the impalas. Those zebras that you see are our grevy zebras. And as you can see there, you can see the giraffes. Those are our reticulated giraffes. Sometimes you get a better view of them from the trip from Nairobi back to Stanleyville when we go on that side of the belt. But most of those animals have been on this side the majority of the time, so you usually only see the giraffes on that side. Now over to our right is the Cheetah Hunt roller coaster. Cheetah Hunt would be our newest roller coaster to the park, built about 4 years ago. Now, Cheetah Hunt takes you from 0 to 60 miles an hour within a matter of seconds. It is a 3-stage launch coaster, which will launch you at 3 separate locations. Cheetah Hunt only features one upside-down corkscrew in it. And it maintains a 60-mile-an-hour speed throughout the majority of its track. Cheetah Hunt also happens to be Florida's longest coaster, spanning over 3,400 feet of track, and taking about 3.5 minutes to complete the entire ride cycle. Now, as we're coming into the Nairobi section of the park, to your right-hand side, you might catch a glimpse of our Asian elephants in their exhibit. We're also passing by the Animal Care Center, where you can go in and see any of the operations we may be doing on any of our animals. There's also Jumbo Junction here, where you can go see all of our baby animals and our smaller animals. Curiosity Caverns with all of our creatures and little critters of the night. And the Nairobi Reserve with all of our gorillas. This will also be your closest stop to the park's entrance and exit. The main entrance for the sky ride. The Nairobi area of the park. And to the Cheetah Hunt roller coaster. And the closest stop to the Egypt section of the park. Where the Monty roller coaster is at. Now, as we come into the station here, please be reminded to stay seated till this train has come to its full and complete stop. I'll advise you once it is safe to exit the train, but please remain seated till this train has come to a full and complete stop. Stay seated, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, now take the exit to your right hand side to the station platform. You'll find the exit at the front and